Y'all white folks is some dirty people. Yes, y'all are. I'm glad my race of people ain't up nothing like that. Mm-mm. But we was taught that the devil was under the ground with a pitchfork, but that's not true. According to the Bible, when you look, let me turn this down. According to the Bible, when you look at Satan, Satan manifested and recognized. That's why the Bible tells you in Hosea 4 and 6, it says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And we've been looking at the devil our whole life. And we was taught that hell is under the ground and heaven is up in the sky. No, heaven is a condition. And we was taught that the devil have a pitchfork under the ground poking people. And the original devil is the Neanderthals. Mm-hmm. I was recording it. The original devil is the Neanderthals. We've been seeing them our whole life. Our culture and everything was taken from us, and we lost who we were. And our enemies had to rule over us. And so the Neanderthals and the so-called Neanderthal Africans and stuff, those people, if you look up images, you can pull up the images of Neanderthals and you will see the original image. And we was going around thinking that the devil was like under the ground, but the devil is on top of the ground, and you've seen it your whole life. And I'm gonna use a script is to prove that. I ain't gonna be long because I gotta go in tonight. But I want to leave y'all with let's look what the Bible says. How art thou fallen down to the ground? Which Edomite men, or these Edomite men, would give their Edomite women to the Native American men, or either the Edomite men would go in and sleep with these Hebrew women. And that's what it means when it says that they have weakened the nations. That means when you marry, seed get your DNA, their DNA get mixed in with the regular human. The word human means color. You see what I'm saying? And so when you mix your DNA with the so-called white man, you're mixing your DNA with a couple of fifths of an animal. You see what I'm saying? And you wonder why your children would go off and they would shoot and kill other people in schools. You wonder why the so-called white man go into schools and he shoot up the school and do all that kind of stuff. It's because his original ancestors goes all the way back to Neanderthal. They are not human. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the so-called black man is hated so much. Is because they are the chosen people and they are the chosen seed. And that's why it says don't mingle your seed with the DNA of a so-called Caucasian, because what it does, like I said, it will weaken your spirit, the spirit of that child, and it will cause you. Have you ever noticed that? That's the reason why we got ourselves all mixed up, and some of our ancestors, they was raped. They was you know what I'm saying. They gave the Edomite, the Hebrew men to these Caucasian women and stuff like that there. And what it did, it caused the boys is to have a weaker, like the weaker traits, you know what I'm saying, coming from those other nations like that. And it caused them is to want to like kill or get very emotional. That's why we manifest. Have you ever heard people say, boy, you must have got that from your white side? Then that's the reason. That's the reason why the Bible is saying right here, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which does weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend unto heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will set also upon the mountains of the congregations and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yea, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit. And they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroys the cities thereof, that open not the house of his prisoners? All these things that the devil, the so-called white man, the Neanderthals, they put us in their prisons and stuff. Let's go back to Isaiah 14, verses 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which does weaken the nations? And this is what has happened. That's the reason why the so-called white man go into schools and shoot up people, because he is a demonic, weak nation of people. You see what I'm saying? They're weak. You see? And when you go and when you think about it, when you are a strong Israelite man and you go and you mingle your seed with these other nations like that, when you go and mingle your seed, then what it does, it causes you'll be wondering why you as a father having slept with a white woman, a black man sleeping with a white woman, and then that child grew up and take some of the traits of the they'll still be an Israelite, but because their blood is mixed up with European, that may make them take the side of European, make them take more of the European Caucasian people side, and start acting all out emotional and start wanting to shoot and kill somebody. You see what I'm saying? So that's really why the Most High said, don't mingle your seed. Don't make marriages with them, because they'll turn away your heart from following him. So that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to say peace and love to my people of color, and I'll see y'all in the next live. Peace.